The other day, President Biden and the CEO of Chevron had a sharp talk over the way the gas prices are going. Um, in a pointed back and forth conversation, that the CEO of Chevron complained Tuesday that the current president Joe Biden has vilified energy firms at a time when gasoline prices are at a near record level, and the president responded that the oil company CEO was being mildly sensitive. Um, President Biden in recent weeks has criticized oil producers and refiners for maximizing their profits and making more money than the visible ferryman himself, rather than increasing production in response to higher prices as the economy recovers from the pandemic and they're feeling the effects of Russia's invasion with Ukraine. Um, Michael Worth, who's the CEO of Chevron, had sent Biden a letter via email on Tuesday that said that the president's own words have been self defeating in terms of in terms of encouraging companies to boost their output. So Chevron is investing in more production, Worth wrote, but the administration has largely sought to criticize and at times vilify our industry. Yeah, because you're making more money hand over fist. Now, these actions are not beneficial to meeting the challenges that we face and are not what the American people deserve. The oil company CEO said that he wanted a more cooperative relationship with the government. Now, basically, we have to work together, basically, Worth wrote. The American people rightly expect our country's leaders in the industry to address the challenges that we're facing in a serious and resolute manner. Now, asked about those comments, Biden displayed no sympathy whatsoever. Biden's response was he's mildly sensitive, but Biden says he didn't know that their feelings would get hurt that quickly. And look, he says we need more refining capacity. This idea that they don't have oil to drill and bring up is simply not true because they do. Average gas prices right now, depending on the state you're living in, are averaging about $5 a gallon. Um, and it's putting a strain on the commuters. Um, and it's a political albatross for Biden's fellow Democrats going into the midterm elections. Now, this has left the White House scrambling for any solutions. Basically, it includes a possible suspension tax of the 18.4 cents a gallon federal tax. Basically, Biden plans to decide by the end of the week if that gas tax should be suspended. It's a move meant to relieve price pressures, and that would need approval from a reluctant Congress. Now, the gas tax funds highways, but Biden said Tuesday any lost revenue would not have a major impact on the road construction because of last year's $1 trillion infrastructure bill that passed. The clash between the Biden administration and the oil producers and the refiners it unfolded ahead of a Thursday meeting that the energy secretary Jennifer Granholm will hold with energy companies. Now, both House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Republican leader Moscow Mitch um, have previously voiced skepticism about the benefits of suspending the gas tax. Representative Adam Schiff, a Democrat from California, is sponsoring a bill that will put the gas tax on hold up until 2023. Now, Schiff said in the statement that he has been in touch with the White House to encourage the gas tax holiday. He added that basically we shouldn't stop there. We should also hold big oil accountable for the price gouging that is driving prices up in the first place. The House has approved legislation to crack down on alleged price gouging by the oil companies, but the bill has stalled in the Senate, and Democratic proposals to impose a windfall are basically a profits tax on oil producers, and it has generated little support in Congress. The possibility of a gas tax holiday has drawn criticism from the economists and the business community for not fixing the underlying the supply challenges and everything like that. So, in an address Tuesday at the Economic Club of New York, which is a nonpartisan business group, the Target CEO Brian Cornell called the gas tax holiday a temporary mini stimulus that does nothing to fundamentally change the supply and demand curve for fuel and transportation. We have a classic supply and demand challenge, Cornell told the audience. But in all due respect, the gas holiday is only going to fuel demand. It's doing nothing to increase our supply. Harvard University professor Jason Furman, basically formerly the top economist in the Obama White House, said that a gas tax suspension would not address the supply pressures. Now refineries are even more constrained now, so supply is nearly fully in a, in inelastic, basically. And this is what he had wrote on Twitter. Now most of the 18.4 cent reduction would be pocketed by the industry, with maybe a few cents passed on to consumers. Now the White House press secretary, the White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, had told reporters that the administration is looking into as many ways as possible to provide consumers with some relief at the gas pump. But the administration does not plan to tell Americans to drive less during the July 4th holiday and reduce some of the supply pressures. Americans are going to do what they feel is right for themselves and for their family. And that's not something for us to make a judgment on. So if you like the video, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, RBW King. You can also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. And thanks, and if you want to support my work even further, you can donate to my Patreon link, which you can find in the About section of YouTube, and for just a little as a few bucks a month, your donation can help go a long way, and thanks for listening.